Hey everyone, I'm Mrs. Trendell. I am a prevention educator here at SCAZA. Some of you may know me, but I might be new to some of you. And whether you are listening from your classroom right now or from home, I'm going to be presenting you with 8 lessons from our Too Good for Drug program. I'm going to be teaching it right here from my office. And because I'm here at the office all by myself, I'm going to teach the rest of the lessons with my mask off. In these 8 lessons, we will be learning important skills that will teach you to stay happy, healthy, and confident. So today for our first lesson, we are going to be talking about how to set reachable goals. So what is a goal? Let's just talk about that first. Okay, so a goal is something you want to accomplish in life. Goals can be almost anything that is important to you. I want you to think about why it is important to set goals for ourselves. Setting goals can help keep you on track, help you stay focused. It can give you a sense of purpose. It can help you strive for something in life, maybe like a career or a family, maybe trying to make a lot of money in your life. And also can increase your confidence, okay? Helps you stay motivated, gives you direction. There are 2 types of goals. First, there are short-term goals. These goals can be reached within a day, a week, or maybe a month, okay? So an example of that may be doing well on an exam that's coming up maybe next week, or maybe at the end of the semester, okay? So it takes a short amount of time to accomplish. Also, there are long-term goals, okay? Long-term goals require more time and more steps to reach, okay? So if you maybe example, becoming a lawyer when you get older, or maybe wanting to have your dream car, or have a family, maybe wanting to have excuse me, lots of money, or maybe your dream house. Okay, so those are goals that you set for the future, okay, and it takes a big chunk of time. Today we're going to focus on how to set and reach short-term goals, okay? So we're going to be focusing on our short-term goals. So remember, short-term is a short amount of time. So maybe your goal is in maybe a sport, or like soccer, and you want to get a certain amount of goals by the end of the month. Or you want to beat your time in cross country. Maybe it's academically, you'd like to read a certain amount of books by the end of the month, or maybe you want to increase your grade from a B to an A. Or maybe it's a musical talent that you want to improve on. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can think about to kind of spark some ideas in your brain, because we're going to be setting our own short-term goal later on in the lesson. So I found this quote and thought it was perfect for this lesson, and it says, "A goal without a plan is just a wish." So you're more likely to reach your goals when you have a plan to get there. Okay, so just making a goal and not doing anything to work on that goal and not setting a plan is like a wish, because it's not going to just magically happen. Okay, there are steps and there are things that you have to do to make that goal and reach that goal. Today we're going to learn how to set reachable goals. What do I mean by a reachable goal? A reachable goal is one that has been set with a person's interests, commitments, and abilities in mind. Here is our goal-setting poster. These 6 steps will help you set and reach your goals. It's easier to work for things when you know what you are working toward and when you have a plan to get there. What is the first step to setting a reachable goal? Step number 1 is name it. Think about the things you like to do. What are your interests and talents? What are you good at doing? Okay, with your interests and talents in mind, think about what you would like to accomplish this year. Then name your goal by writing it on a piece of paper. Okay, it could be a scrap piece of paper for now. You could always transfer it. Maybe you want to improve your grades by the end of the year by maybe going from a B to an A average. Maybe you want to set a record in sports or beat one of your personal records. Maybe you just want to improve, okay, but be specific. Maybe you want to try out for a school play that's in the springtime. Okay, so I want you to think about that for a little bit and write it down. Sorry. Excellent. Now that you have written down your goal, let's confirm that it is reachable. Remember, reachable, it's something that you are interested in and want to obtain. Okay. A reachable goal must meet these 4 criteria. Look at the 4 goal naming criteria on the top of the poster. Okay, so under step number 1, name it. After we review this criteria, you may need to revise your goal you named to make it reachable. So we'll see, we'll go back and look. Okay, what is the first criterion? The first criterion on top of this poster is personal. The goal you name must be personal. When the goal you set is your goal, you will work hard to reach it because it matters to you. So it must be important to you. Okay, it's not anybody else's goal. It's not your friend's goal. It needs to be your goal. Okay, what is the second criterion? The second criterion is that the goal must be possible. Okay, you need to have the ability and the resources to reach that goal. Okay, it must be a possible goal to achieve. Thirdly, your goal must be positive. Okay, you state your goal as a positive action rather than saying, for example, I won't eat junk food for the next 2 weeks. Phrase it instead as I will eat healthy foods for the next 2 weeks. You can even get a little more specific and say which healthy foods you're going to eat. Like I will eat 3 vegetables and 3 fruits a day for the next 2 weeks. Okay. And lastly, the 4th criterion is that your goal must be specific. Okay. The goal you set must be something particular or measurable, so you know when you have successfully completed it. Okay, so just for example, the goal that we just set about healthy foods, I said specifically what healthy foods I was going to eat, and then I set a time period for the next 2 weeks. Okay, I will eat 3 fruits and vegetables each for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so now if necessary, now that we've gone over the 4 criterion in naming your goal, I want you to take a moment in case you need to revise your goal. Okay, so make sure the goal you named is personal, make sure it's possible, make sure it's positive, you have positive action words in your statement, and make sure it's specific. So if your goal is not personal, possible, positive, or specific, you may give up on it after a day or two. That's why it's very important to take the time to make sure that your goals meet these 4 goal naming criteria. Okay, now that you've named your goal, there are a few more steps you will need to take to reach it. The second step is to picture yourself reaching your goal. Take a minute to imagine exactly what success looks like. If your goal is to graduate, think about what it would feel like to cross the stage and receive your diploma. A clear picture of what you are working towards in your mind will motivate you to keep working towards your goal. The third step is say I can. What you say to yourself about your progress will either help you or hold you back. Be your own cheerleader and keep your self-talk positive, okay? Saying I can statements. Once you've named your goal and you're ready to get started, you have to think how to do it. So that's the 4th step. Think how to do it. What action steps will you need to take to accomplish your goal? Think of 3 or 4 action steps you will need to reach your goal. Write the steps underneath your goal that you have written down. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to complete your action steps. Okay, so 3 to 4. So it's kind of like your plan of how you're going to reach that goal. So say you want to improve your grade from a B to a C. Some steps that you might take would be to make sure you're doing all your homework, maybe going in to see your teachers for extra help, maybe studying with friends. Okay, so those could be some of your action plans. Okay, and then once you have your steps and your action plans, that you're going to follow the 5th step in reaching your goal, which is go for it. You start taking those action steps you listed, and when you've reached your goal, you're going to celebrate your success, which is step 6. So look at what you've done and what you've accomplished and feel that feeling of accomplishment, and that will help you in the next time you set out to achieve a goal. Sometimes when reaching a goal, you may need help. Think of who or what can help you achieve your goals. So what kinds of resources or support can you use to help you achieve your goals? Think about the people around you. Think about your teachers, your coaches, your family members or friends. Think about the internet. There are lots of how-to videos out there. For example, if you're trying to get better at playing the saxophone, watching an internet video on people playing the saxophone might help you. Now it's time for you to set your own goal, short-term goal. I would like you to be able to complete this goal within a week. Okay, so when you're writing your goal, I want to make sure that you want to remind yourself to make sure that your goal is personal. Okay, so is it important to you? Is it possible? So do you have the time and the resources to make it happen? Is it positive? So ask yourself, did I state my goal as something I will do rather than something I won't? And make sure that it is specific. Okay, so does my goal specify an activity and a deadline that I can meet it? Okay, so you're probably going to have to pause the video right now so that you can work on that goal. Okay, so once you have your goal named, okay, so the goal that you're going to achieve by next week, I'd like you to list your 4 action steps. Okay, so this is your to-do list, your action steps you need to take to reach your goal. So after you write your action steps, I want you to think of at least 3 resources. Okay, so remember, people or things that you can rely upon to help or support you in reaching your goal. So this is going to take a few minutes, so you might need to pause the video again. Remember, the more you practice the steps, the more successful you will be. Practice makes progress. Okay. Next week, we will learn about making responsible decisions to help keep us on track for reaching our goals. Okay, so this is the end of the lesson for today. Please email us at scazaprevention.com with any questions that you may have or comments that you would like to add. Because we are not in your classroom face-to-face, we set this email so that we can have some kind of communication with you. We would love to hear from you. All questions and comments will be confidential, and I will get back to you. All right, I hope everybody has a great week and work on those goals. And I have a short video for you to kind of wrap up the lesson. Thanks.
The future. It's waiting out there for all of us, a blank page ready to be written on. But whether it's as close as tomorrow or 20 years ahead, the choices you make along the way will determine what you'll do and who you'll be in the future. To ensure a better future, we have to set goals for ourselves and then make plans in order to achieve them.
The first step is to define your goal. Decide what it is that you want to do or be. It can be anything you want to accomplish.
But remember, a goal is not the same thing as a wish. You might wish to have superpowers and fly through the air, but a reasonable goal would be to study to become a pilot.
A goal should be something that is realistically reachable.
It should be something that you truly care about, that's in your power to carry out.
You should be able to clearly define your goals and then make positive plans to achieve them.
You might want to ask yourself, what talents and strengths do I have that will help me reach my goal?
What resources will I need, and are they available?
Have I set a practical timeline in which to accomplish my goal?
Are there now, or could there be specific challenges or obstacles blocking my way? And if so, what choices can I make to avoid or overcome these roadblocks?
You will most certainly suffer a few setbacks along the way, but don't let them cause you to lose focus on your ultimate objective. There are some self-made obstacles that you can work to avoid.
Fear. Don't be afraid of making a mistake or tackling a new challenge. Only people who don't make mistakes are people who don't try, and people who don't try don't succeed.
Lack of commitment. It takes self-discipline and focus to stay on task. If you truly want something, be willing to work for it.
Character. Be honest with yourself and others when making plans and setting goals. If you set the bar too low, you won't be working to your full potential, and in the end, you won't be satisfied. If your goal is ultimately unachievable, then you are never going to truly work toward it.
Your goals can be long-term or more immediate short-term goals. Short-term goals can be incremental steps along the way that help you complete a long-term goal. Breaking down a long-term plan into smaller challenges can be a way of building confidence, and it's a helpful way to keep track of how far you've come.
When making short-term plans, ask yourself, what can I do today, next week, next month to move me toward my goal? Make a step-by-step plan and stick to it.
Remember the old saying, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step.
Long-term goals can be things you want to accomplish when you reach adulthood, like getting a college degree or entering a certain profession.
When setting long-term goals, ask yourself, who and what do I want to be in 5 years, in 10?
Remember, running into an obstacle is not the same as failure. Don't lose faith in yourself or in your ability. Every problem has a solution.
You should take responsibility for your own choices, but don't be so hard on yourself that you lose your dreams and hopes for the future. Be proud of your successes and reward yourself for each one you made.
Go with the flow and adjust your plan to accomplish your goal if you have to. Stay flexible. If there is someone you know or who has achieved what you're going for, or who has a knowledge that can assist you in reaching your goals, go to them and ask for help. Mentors can be invaluable to the road to achievement.
But what is the measure of success? We started out by asking not just what will you do, but also more importantly, who will you be? That's a complicated question. Who we are is a combination of how we act, what we think, and what we say. Sometimes it boils down to one simple question.
Do you want to be a good person or a bad person?
Sometimes our goals can come into conflict with that basic question. When making plans and setting your goals, you might want to ask yourself,
Do my choices impact other people? Are they positive or negative?
no one knows exactly what the future holds, but if we plan now, we can work toward making a better future for ourselves and those around us.
So set a goal and make plans to achieve it.
The choices are yours. The future is waiting.